It's so inspiring to see such power and energy in the room. I'm really excited to be here with you today because I'm here to talk about the longest relationship you'll ever have. If my slides will advance. I'm clicking away. Oh no, I gotta go back. There we go, okay. Is that the back? Yeah, okay. So it's the most important relationship you're ever gonna have, and it becomes part of all of your other relationships in some way. You're at the very beginning of it. You hold all the cards, and you make it what you want it to be. There's a ton of information out there and a lot of people to help you along the way. There's endless ways to learn about it. It's your money. Some of you might already have a bank account and use bank machines to put your money in and take it out. Some of you might be sending e-transfers or using banking apps. Many of you are just starting out earning money. Maybe it's babysitting, yard work, coding, lifeguarding, swimming lessons with little kids, and I thank you for that. You might be working at Home Depot or other service industries helping customers, and these are great first jobs. They will set you up for success no matter what career you choose. There's nothing like being recognized for the work you do. It feels great, and you set out to do something and you did it. So now you've got some money, some cash in your pockets, or maybe in a bank account. What do you need to be thinking about? You're at the very beginning of your money relationship, and there's two things you're gonna do with your money, now and forever. Do you have any ideas? I heard save it and spend it. All right, yeah. You save it or you spend it. If you're already saving right now, it might be to buy something special. A new iPhone, clothes, maybe you're saving for a school trip or soccer camp or a university. You might be saving it in a bank account, a dresser drawer, or a glass jar. The important thing is you're saving, and it's great. You've got goals and you have a plan. If you're spending right now, it might be on things like coffee, data, transit, makeup, Spotify. A lot of these things are your regular, reoccurring, everyday spends, not big one-time purchases. It's great to save and it's great to spend, but it's important to do both well. Here's the first big piece of advice. When spending, make sure you have cash flow. What is cash flow? Apparently it's the name of a very cool board game that's better than Monopoly, but I'm here to talk to you about the math and the things that you need to think about when spending so you stay confidently in control. Cash flow is about having enough money to cover your expenses, the spending that you do, and not be down to your last 5 cents by the time you're done. Let's take a look at the math. In a given month, let's say you've got $150 to cover your monthly expenses. Let's assume you spend $30 on data, maybe have 5 coffees a week, and take transit to work, school, or the mall, maybe 6 times a week. You can see the numbers add up, and you've got just enough to cover your monthly expenses, but just. There's no wiggle room. Feels a bit tight, right? And there's no savings built into this. So you should ask yourself, what could I do to reduce my spending? Make savings part of this equation, and feel more confident about my cash flow and my savings. Maybe it's coffee from home. Maybe it's walking or biking instead of taking transit as often as you do. And maybe it's even going Wi-Fi versus data. Whatever you decide, it's up to you. These are personal choices, and they may not be the same choices that your friends make. But you're the boss, and the decisions are yours. So I have a confession. It took me a long time to get this right. Like, I was in my 30s. I've always had good jobs and worked hard, and good salaries came with the hard work. I spent a lot and saved a little of my paychecks every time. But I had some bad guy relationships, which led to being out of pocket for someone else. Because I lived too close to the edge with my finances, I ended up in debt. I was single and happy, but I was owing money. It took a while to get out of debt, and they were great life lessons, but I assure you, I would have much rather had a savings cushion to give me a soft landing. So let me say it again, cash flow is key to feeling confident at all stages in your life's journey and your relationship with money. So let's talk about savings a little bit more. Savings can sometimes feel like going without, like not joining your friends for when they buy a coffee or when they go to the movies. You probably hear different things from people you trust about savings. Save your babysitting money for something big. Save half, spend half. Save half, spend and share by donating to a charity. These are all great advice pieces, but remember, you're the boss of your money relationship, and what you say and what you want to do, it goes. As with spending, saving is personal to you. Think of it as paying yourself first. And there are many ways to do it. Maybe you're not saving for something big right now, but you always need savings. It will keep the door open and it's going to give you options. Decide on what you want to save each month. Look at your cash flow and make the adjustments you need to reach your goal. Next, save with confidence because you've got a plan and it's happening. Being at the start of your savings journey, a savings account separate from your student account could be a good option. Some banks have a program where you can have an amount that you choose, anywhere from 25 cents to $5 in some cases, automatically transferred from your student account to your savings account. If you have this option, I encourage you to enroll and take advantage of it. It makes saving easy and automatic. So here's another true confession. I do this automatic savings. I decided that $2.50 was the amount. And what happens is every time I use my debit card, that $2.50 gets taken from my one account and put into my savings account. It's become my savings bucket for beauty. Haircuts, manicures, facials, my Sephora obsession. The good stuff that I had to shove to the back of my do something for me list because there just wasn't enough money at hand. The second big piece of relationship advice is this: pay yourself first. And feel empowered about making money choices that will be good for you over the long term, even if they aren't the same choices that your friends and classmates are making. Now, let's get into the sometimes scary but absolutely necessary cousin of saving and spending: credit. The very idea of a credit card seemed incredibly grown up to me when the bank teller offered to help me with my application. Then my Visa card came in the mail, and I promptly went out and bought a fancy dress hat. Who knows why? I didn't need it. I was in first year university in Northern Ontario. It's not like that hat was going to get out much. By a show of hands, who can't wait to get a credit card? All right. Who never wants to get a credit card? Who knows how they work? An equal footing there. Okay, so maybe I'll be telling you something you already know, but here's the thing. Credit cards can be a tricky thing. You get the card, you buy something, and then you must pay your balance in full before the due date to avoid paying interest. So it seems like a lot of people know a lot about credit cards, but I'll just share. Interest is the money that credit card companies make because they lend you the money to buy something. If you pay the minimum payment before it's due, you'll be charged interest, but you'll still be in good standing. Now, if you don't pay the minimum by the due date, you'll start to find yourself in some trouble. Credit card companies can start charging you extra fees on top of the original balance you owe and the interest that's adding up. It gets harder and harder to pay the balance down and take back control. And here's the third piece of relationship advice. The secret about credit cards: you need one. It's one of the first tools in your toolbox to build your credit history. My advice is get one as a young adult. Use it sparingly, but regularly, and budget for this spend and pay it off in full every month. As you continue in your money journey, you'll need good credit history. You start building your credit history with a credit card and certain bills too. Anybody know what bill you might already have that's building your credit history? Your cell phone bill. So make sure you pay your cell phone bills, your credit card bills, and all of your other bills on time, every time. Your credit history will affect many parts of your life, from renting an apartment to getting a job, or even a car loan if you have to get one right away versus doing that saving thing we talked about earlier. And when you're ready to buy a home, the quality of your credit history is a key factor on whether you get approved for a mortgage and what interest rate you'll pay. Now, I'm sure buying a home seems a lifetime away, but your credit history starts early and it stays with you your entire life. It's another essential part of your money relationship, and again, it's yours to define and yours to own. So, what happened to that hat, you might wonder? I think I donated it, but I didn't pay it off. I kept buying things, and I took cash advances off my card. I was a student, I needed coffee. And I remember the ice-cold fear in my heart when the ATM declined my cash advance because I'd maxed out the card. It was a horrible feeling. And I didn't tell anybody about it, I just realized I had to fix this. That experience taught me to learn about the card, how it worked, how much interest I pay. About 19% on purchases and about 22% on cash advances, and when the bills were due. I made a plan to pay it off, and I worked extra hours at my part-time job. I stuck to the plan and I got it done. I think it took about a year or more to pay it off, but I didn't have that debt when I graduated. So with my relationship secrets out in the open, by a show of hands, do you think my parents talked to me about money? No, they didn't. It wasn't something they were comfortable talking about. I remember money was a taboo topic with their friends too. My husband and I are getting better at it, and the biggest reason is our 3 kids. We talk a lot about money as a family, saving, spending, and even credit with my 10-year-old. We say no a lot to our kids. We explain why $7.50 for an ice cream cone doesn't make sense. We explain why we're not buying a bottle of water for $2.99. We talk to them about our jobs, that we get paid because we work, and the money helps us afford the things that we enjoy as a family, like our house, our cars, vacations, kid activities, even insurance, which my 10-year-old son is keenly interested in, as he knows he has to pay for it when he starts driving. Money creates endless conversations because it's everywhere in our lives. There are endless online resources on managing your money, and I encourage you to talk to your parents, friends, and family. Learn how others manage their money so that you can continue to learn and feel confident in your money journey at all stages in your life. As we wrap up, I'd like to share some videos that remind us why it's important to talk about money. Remember, cash flow, pay yourself first and tackle credit head on. This is your relationship. Demand what you want from it. Be confident in your decisions and make it the relationship you want it to be.
Teach me about money? That's okay. I'll live off your nest egg for the rest of my life. Guess I'll learn to budget the hard way.
I'll continue to assume that's free cash.
For your 50th, I'll buy you a huge gift with your money.
It's too late to teach me about saving. What
37 and living on your driveway.
Hey parents, talk to your kids about money.
Mom, is dinner ready?
Before it's too late. Get your kids ready at td.com/kidsandmoney. TD, ready for you.
Thank you.